Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, Oleksandr Usyk. I think a lot of people expected him to be stripped of the IBF title. Filip Hrgovic he's the mandatory contender, and the rematch clause is in place for Usyk Fury 2. So a lot of people were saying Usyk's going to get stripped. Hrgovic is long overdue his title shot, and there was talk about Hrgovic maybe facing Dubois or Joshua. But Usyk and his team have applied for an extension on the... he doesn't really want to vacate the IBF title. He doesn't want to be stripped of it. And IBF President Daryl Peoples has confirmed that Usyk has submitted a bid to remain IBF champion and not vacate in order to make October's rematch with Fury another undisputed showdown. We're waiting for a decision to be made, says Usyk's manager, Egis Klimas. I think it's more important for Tyson Fury now, not for Oleksandr. Oleksandr, of course, is a two-time undisputed champ, cruiserweight and heavyweight. And if the next fight is just for 3 belts, I don't think it's going to be fair for either of the two guys, either Tyson Fury or for Oleksandr Usyk. But as far as importance, I think it's more important for Team Fury to get this title. Imagine if Fury wins, he's not going to be undisputed. So he's losing the chance. The rematch, the clause, was so both guys had the chance to be undisputed. I hope the IBF are going to make the right decision. And Bob Arum also said that, he confirmed that Fury he's eager for the rematch. And there was talk of it being in October, but Arum says November or December is probably more likely. October's too much of a turnaround. Now, Klimas, with regard to his comments about Fury having the chance to become undisputed, I mean, this all sounds very magnanimous, but I don't think I'm being cynical. I think I'm being skeptical rather than cynical when I say that. It does smack of someone who's trying to put an angle on things so that Usyk can hold on to all the belts. I mean, I do agree in principle that Usyk should hold the belts, should hang on to the belts, at least until the rematch is over. But then, of course, if Fury was to win the rematch, we'd then be talking about possibly a rubber match, a third match, in which case I'm not someone who thinks that fighters should or mandatory contenders should be allowed to or should be forced to spend, sometimes a year or two on the sidelines. I think if you work into a mandatory position, you deserve your shot. And okay, there's a lot of money involved in Usyk versus Fury, the rematch. And, yes, I get it. It's a business as well. But if you work your way into a mandatory title shot, it's not fair to keep you waiting for, not months, but sometimes a couple of years on end. So I'm not entirely of the school of thought that says, no ruling body should ever strip a champion, even if it's a reputable champion. I mean, we all know Usyk is a fantastic fighter, a wonderful fighter. And, Fury fought very well in that match too. I had it, like I've said before, I had it 7 rounds to 5. There was an extra point for the knockdown, so I had it 115, 112. I thought Usyk clearly won, but Fury did enough to warrant a rematch. It was an exciting fight, and I think we all want to see the rematch. But on the other hand, Hrgovic, to keep him waiting for so long, is that fair? Not if you're going to go by the system itself. And I think it's a pretty good system to have, someone works their way into a title shot, but then they have to be given it, and they shouldn't be sort of almost aged out or have their momentum destroyed. They shouldn't have to constantly be defending their mandatory position. Sometimes they do have to wait for legitimate reasons. But in general, I think, I want Usyk to hold on to all the belts. I think if Fury wins and they talk about a third fight, no, I think the IBF would be perfectly within the sort of moral or ethical, the right side of ethics or morals in saying, no, hang on a minute, for Hrgovic next. You had your 2 fights. That was what you were contracted to do. We want our mandatory to fight next. And if you don't fight him, we're stripping you. I think there is a case to be made for that. At the moment, though, no. We've got an undisputed heavyweight champion. The idea that they're going to be reduced to just a unified champion again only week after winning it. It seems too harsh to me, too draconian. So I'm going for, I think Usyk should be given that extension. But Klimas' magnanimous attitude, he ain't a philanthropist. He's a manager of the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and I think he's probably trying to put an angle on it to put pressure on the IBF. Although in principle, I do agree with him. But what do you think? Leave your comments below. Let me know your opinion on the current situation, what you think should happen next. And please, if you're new to this channel, you could subscribe. That would be a big deal to us as well. And hit the like button as well, that little thumbs up thing. Hit. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. The channel's growing, and it's your channel as much as mine. I appreciate your time as always. I'll get you later. Bye for now.